What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron, and we're back again with another haircut tutorial. Today, I'm gonna be breaking down my step-by-step process on how to give yourself a haircut using our today's sponsored products by Nova. I will leave them linked down in the description, as well as with the steps that I use in this video, so y'all can go ahead and purchase or follow the steps when y'all actually try the haircut yourselves. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all do, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what y'all thought about it down in the comments. So with that being said, guys, let's just jump right into the tutorial. Alright guys, so like I said, today I will be using this combo set by Nova. The combo comes with both clipper and trimmer that have a lightweight metal unibody design to help with hand fatigue. They have a full LCD screen to gauge your battery levels and trimming gear, as well as with a 2-speed option for versatility on cutting techniques on both clipper and trimmer. They also include a full set of premium metal clipper and trimmer guards. And for the quality, guys, this is a great clipper set at an affordable price point. They will be giving away a huge discount, so make sure y'all follow up with them, as I will leave the tools linked down in the description for y'all to check them out for yourself. And also, guys, for this self-cut, you're gonna need a handheld mirror that's pretty decent in size, so that you could get a broad view of what you're doing behind your head. And then you're just gonna need something to hang it off of, what I like to use is like a ring light, since it has these knobs on the top, and I just kind of hang that mirror from there. And then I like to place it about 45 degrees behind me on my dominant side, so that I could get a broad, good view of what I'm doing behind my head. So once you position that mirror at a good placement that you're able to see the back of your head, then we're good to start. So first, I like to comb my hair down into its natural laid position, just so that we can kind of see the hair growth pattern, and then be able to start the haircut. I will be doing a mid-drop skin fade, so for this, what I'm gonna do is grab my clipper and then close the lever all the way down to a true 0. And then I'm gonna lay down my first guideline, starting about my temple peak area. And then I'm gonna just follow through with taking that line as it slants towards the back of my head. And then I'm gonna just go as far as I could see in front of the mirror. And then whatever I can't is when I will start kind of looking at the reflection of the back of the mirror, just so that I can see that I am taking my line as straight as possible across the back before bringing it to the opposite side of my head, making sure that we are even from where we started. You're going to want to make sure that you take your time and get this line as straight as possible, since this first line is probably the most important one. So just make sure it's even, because the rest of our guidelines are going to run parallel to this first initial line. So moving forward, what I'm going to do is open the lever all the way on the clipper to lay down our next guideline. And what I'm going to do is just come up about a ½ inch or about a finger in length from the previous line. So just take your time, and like I said, when you first start, you're just kind of looking in front of you at that mirror, and then you're just gonna go as far back as you can see in the mirror. And then once you reach a point to where you can't see, you're gonna start utilizing your back mirror so that you can see the reflection and see what's going on in back of your head and all around to the side. Make sure that you're continuously brushing all the loose hair that you're cutting, so that you can clearly see your workspace and you can see these guidelines better being set in. Next, I'm gonna grab my one guard, and I'm gonna keep that lever all the way open to lay down our next guideline. And again, like before, guys, all I'm gonna do is come up about another ½ inch or another finger in length up from the previous line. So just let the clipper do the work as you just guide it in a smooth manner. And just the cleaner that you leave these guidelines in, guys, the easier it'll be to blend them out to achieve that clean fade at the end. Next, I'm gonna grab my number 2 guard, and still like before, guys, I'm gonna leave that lever all the way open, and we're gonna lay down our next guideline. Since by the time you get to the number 2, it tends to be at the area where your head starts to curve, make sure that you kind of flick outwards as if your hair was a square shape and you were kind of taking it out vertically up into the air. And but only make sure that you're coming up about a ½ inch from the previous line. And we're gonna just do this until we go all around the whole head. Next, we're gonna grab the number 3 guard, still with that lever all the way open, guys. And like I said, since these guards tend to be where your head starts to curve, we're gonna do the exact same thing, coming up about another ½ inch. And again, guys, just making sure that you're kind of following the shape of your head, and in that direction is what we're gonna take the clipper, so that we don't take too much length off the top of the hair, and just kind of sculpting out the side length to the top. And then once you're done with that number 3, we're gonna go ahead and grab the number 4, and still with that lever all the way open, finish achieving trying to connect the side lane to the top. By the time I use this guard, I take my time a lot and I go a lot slower so that I give time for the hair to really feed into the guard so that I could cut it in a smooth manner as I'm combing it down so that I can really see it being blended into the top. And again guys, you're just taking it up straight up so that we connect the side length to the top without taking too much length off the top. So now here we're pretty much left with these 3 guidelines that we're gonna blend out. We're gonna start by taking out the uppermost guideline and then just work our way down. For that top guideline, I'm gonna use the 1.5 clip, and what I'm gonna do is position the lever just 1 notch closed, or that 3/4 position. And then I'm gonna just work at that lever position and then kind of utilizing the corners of the clipper, trying to blend out that top guideline as much as possible before moving on to the next. Keep in mind that every head is going to be different, so if you feel like on your head that this lever position ain't cutting much, then go ahead and feel free to just close the lever a little bit or open it if you feel like it's cutting too much. But for the most part, that lever at that 3/4 position will always be a great starting point for you to figure what lever position you will need for your head. So next I'm gonna throw on that half clip, still leaving that lever position to that 3/4 spot, and then I'm gonna start working on that middle guideline. Keep in mind that this guard won't completely take it out. You will need the number 1 guard after, but for the most part at the beginning, just take out as much as possible with this guard. Try not to come up too much, just kind of stay there where the line starts and just soften it up as much as possible. And whatever dark areas that it creates above, we're gonna come back in with the 1 guard to finish taking it out. It is pretty confusing at the beginning guys when cutting your own hair, so before you actually start to cut your own hair, I do recommend that you first kind of get familiar with the reflections and the hand movements and kind of get some good stretches so that you can really get behind your head without struggling too much. And with good practice guys, you're only gonna get better. So next I'm gonna throw on that number 1 guard, still leaving that lever position on that 3/4 spot, and then we're just gonna finish taking out that middle guideline completely. So take your time guys, and kind of like using more so the corners of the clipper like I mentioned, that kind of helps you get in there in a more detailed fashion so you can better break up these dark areas and achieve that nice blend. I'm also going to leave all these steps down in the description for y'all in written format so y'all can feel free to copy them or take them with y'all in the restroom or wherever y'all decide to do y'all self haircut so y'all can follow them. Once you're pretty much done taking out that middle guideline all the way out, we're gonna move forward and start taking out that first initial guideline that we laid in. For this one, it is gonna take 3 lever positions and no guards. First starting with that lever positioned all the way closed, then open it halfway, and then open it all the way until we finish blending out that first guideline. So little by little, you will start seeing that first initial guideline soften up. So first I start with it closed like I said, and then I'll just blend out just at the initial start of that guideline, and then I'm gonna just come up a tad bit higher as I open the lever halfway, and then I'll move up a tad bit higher than that with the lever positioned all the way open until we kind of reach blending out that last guideline. I noticed that when I was done with that lever all the way open, it still looked a little dark right under, so all I did was close the lever back all the way down to the 0, and then just kind of came in there and blended that bottom part out as much as possible. And for my touch-up work, what I did was kind of went in there and looked for any little dark spots or inconsistencies in the fade, and all I did was grab my half clip again on that 3/4 position and kind of just broke up those areas until I got that blend as smooth as possible. Then once I'm done with the right side of my head, I went ahead and started doing the back side. Again, starting with that clipper lever closed, then we open it halfway, and then we open it all the way, and then whatever touch-up work needed be, we just kind of grab that half clip and just finish detailing it out. And since we are looking at the back of the head, I kind of like to look at the small mirror and then kind of use the big mirror behind me as my reflection so you could get a better broad view of what you're doing behind your head. And then once we're done with the back, we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same steps on the last side of your head until you achieve blending out that last guideline completely. So once you're done with that, you're pretty much done. What you could do is just grab your trimmer and then just take out all of the bottom of the hair. But for me, since I like to shave my head down to the skin at the bottom, what I'll do is I'll first grab the trimmer and kind of take out just the uppermost part of the bottom of the hair first, since that kind of helps me get in there a lot deeper. And then when I take out the rest of the bottom of the hair, you're gonna be able to distinguish a little faint line, and that little faint line is basically just gonna serve as another guideline for me to, or just to guide me with my electric shaver to show me how high to come up without taking the clipper too much into the fade, creating really harsh, dark lines, hard lines that are hard to blend out. But the little faint lines that it does create, we're just gonna come back in with the trimmer, and I like to kind of just stretch my skin so that we get deeper into that hair, and then just kind of really just go back in there and blend it out so that we connect that fade from the skin to the top. For my hairline, I like to apply a little bit of spritz onto it just so that we can freeze the hair into place before we come in and actually do my edge up. And to speed up the process, I'll kind of blow dry it into that position. And then I'll come in with my trimmer, and I'll first start with the middle of my head, and then I'll kind of work my way off to the sides, making sure I stay as straight as possible before setting in my hard lines on the vertical sides. And for my facial hair, all I did was run a number 1 guard lever all the way open, and then I just tapered in the sideburn areas down to the beard. And then for the top part, I kind of just leave it natural. I don't like setting in any hard lines. But my mustache is, since I don't really grow a full mustache, I kind of just shave it off, and then I'll just shave off the peach fuzz on the cheek area as well. And then what I'm gonna do is kind of comb my beard hair all the way down as clean as possible, and then I'll set in my underline as to my preference, and then just shave out everything as well with my electric shaver. And for the edge up area, if you do decide to use a straight razor, just a heads up guys, we did drop our new matte black faded culture Turkish razors. I will leave that as well linked down in the description, or you can go ahead and pick one up at fadedculture.co. So first what I'm gonna do is kind of just shave everything down, taking out most of the shaving gel that we applied. And then we're just gonna kind of shave into the hard lines so that we can detail them as sharp as possible. And then I'll just come back in and reverse shave all of the hair so that we can get that much deeper into the skin, and it kind of just helps last with a longer shave. And if you're not comfortable using a straight razor, I do recommend you using it without an actual razor so you can get your practice in, and before building that confidence and actually using a straight razor. But that's pretty much it guys for this self haircut. After, to style it, I like to use a matte clay to really bring out this haircut. And here's the before guys, in case y'all forgot what I looked like before. And here's the after. I hope y'all guys really enjoyed this self haircut tutorial. If y'all did, please give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what y'all did or didn't like about the video. Again guys, my name is Sergio Barron. This is Faded Culture, and I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.